Welcome to Buzz in the Tower, a podcast dedicated to the movies of the 1980s and the 1990s. I'm Mo Shapiro, and joining me as always,
Hi-oh,
Max Sanders. And remember, life moves pretty fast. Blank.
I'm supposed to say it?
No, I guess I could do the whole thing. I thought you'd hop in. I even did the look at the camera move, just like Ferris.
Well, I mean, you didn't tell me we were going to do this.
Life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around every once in a while,
you could die.
miss it. If he dies, he dies. Max,
Yeah.
Welcome to Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
I'm so excited.
Bum 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 bum.
What are you singing?
I'm doing one of the
Pee-wee
obscure.
Herman?
No, yes. Get out of bed.
That's what it sounds like.
Dear
what song were you doing?
Do you remember at the end when he is running back to his house?
Yeah.
And it's
yeah.
Bum bum bum
Yeah,
bum.
you're right.
Bum bum bum
Yeah.
bum bum.
Yeah, you're right. Hi, Ferris Bueller. How you doing?
I'm sorry. I could dark as shade.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Twist and shout.
Yeah. Little too brassy for the
Or the Day Bow Bow.
Dear bow bow. Max, I'm buzzing the tower. We do a lot of things. But one of the most important things we do is
talking.
That's up there, I guess. We represent our sponsors who represent us. So today, the old Save Ferris shirt from our friends over at 80stees.com. Special effects.
Transformer sounds?
That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Except we'd get immediately snipped for that, but that's fine.
Nipped in the snip.
In addition to 80stees.com, a reminder to follow, subscribe, check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and do not forget YouTube.
Live video.
YouTube.com/@Buzz in the Tower, BUZZN the Tower.
We have a very sleek studio.
You can watch all this.
Yeah.
Soak it up.
We have mood lighting.
We do.
We have soundproofing.
We've got special effects.
Yeah.
Coster, throw some special effects in there. And
some sprinkles in there, glitter.
And hello to Bradley,
Yeah.
our man behind the camera, hanging out back there, wondering why he does this.
He was really good on the mic the other time when we had to pick for Arnold.
Well, you knew his name. The key is knowing his name.
I know his name.
Yeah. Social media, TikTok in particular, @Buzz in the Tower is our handle, but we're on all platforms, but TikTok is the moneymaker. That's where you want to go if you just want to bathe in 80s and 90s nostalgia.
We have 4,000 posts.
We do. And we have almost 1 million likes. No,
Yeah.
likes or views. Yeah, likes. Almost 1 million likes. That's a big number.
50,000 followers.
1 million likes. I can't wait till we do Austin Powers, by the way. I know
The Spy Who Shagged Me or the original?
All of them, every single one.
Who does number 2 work for?
I do need to talk to you about
Tom
something.
Arnold.
Can I talk to you about something real quick?
Yeah.
I need you to start taking your shirts and either ironing them or maybe washing them or putting them in a dryer. You look rough.
I don't own an iron, and I didn't know. What do you mean?
So if you take a shirt like that,
Okay.
and you just throw it in the dryer with like a partially wet
It's got
sock.
80s.
Yeah, it does have 80s on it, but you look like, I don't even know what you look like. Does Selena allow you to leave the house looking like this?
I get eye rolls, and she'll put it in the dryer for me sometimes.
Yeah, so just for the show,
Yeah.
I need you to just up your game a little bit.
But I upgraded. I used to go out to dinner in sweatpants and waffle shirts,
Sure,
and now I put on jeans.
totally reasonable.
Yeah.
Speaking of waffle shirts, my delicious waffles.
We picked out a wedding cake.
You did?
Yeah.
Was it made out of Peter Pan and
It's a banana
cotton candy?
It's banana coconut pineapple cake with cream cheese frosting.
Who are you looking at as you read this off to me? Is there something behind me?
No, when I think, I go like this.
Okay.
So it's kind of embarrassing whenever I'm at dinner with other people. They look behind them like, where's he looking?
I just did that because I'm like, what are you doing right now?
I have non-eye contact syndrome.
I don't even know.
What's that called?
That's not a thing. Can we get back to the show?
Yeah, okay.
Let's talk about Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Ferris Bueller's Day Off there are a handful of films, a handful, like a landfill. There's
From
a
ham.
Yeah, there's a roads. Limit. I raped 100 beagles back in Baxter County.
You're going 5 miles an hour.
And the next time you pull over to the side of the road, not in the middle.
median.
Yeah, that's incredible. Tommy Boy is another one.
That's Black Sheep.
That's Black Sheep. You're
Yeah.
right. God.
I just posted Tommy Boy bloopers today on TikTok.
I saw. That's why you got to follow @Buzz in the Tower, BUZZ on the Tower. There are a handful of movies that define the decade.
Yep. So 90s, it's Matrix, Goodfellas,
Welcome
one of
to
the
Jurassic Park.
Yeah, one of the Nick Cage movies from the mid 90s.
By the way, a really fun episode to do for us to consider. Put this in the back of your head.
Okay.
defining movies of the 80s and 90s.
Shawshank.
Where we kind of pull like, what are the 5 movies? So spoiler alert, Ferris Bueller's Day Off is absolutely at the top of that list.
Top 3 probably of the ones that are most identified. Kind of crazy. Have you been watching the new True Detective season?
I've never seen an episode.
Okay, the new season you got to see because they completely wiped the slate clean.
Okay,
but it's called Night County or Night Country. One of the main parts of this scientific lab that's
Cameron Fry.
Just wait for it.
Okay.
So it's like The Thing, like this group of scientists up in the Arctic.
Yeah.
They all die of fright, frozen together in like a giant corpuscle. When they go to the place where they were the research station. Ferris Bueller, the twist and shout. Ferris Bueller, the twist and shout.
I need you to slow down.
Sorry.
Because I believe what you're trying to say is twist and shout.
Yeah.
And what you can do when you struggle like this is you can just say twist and shout.
Yeah.
Say it with me.
Twist and shout.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Sorry, I got excited.
You were very excited.
That scene is playing on repeat in the
What
back.
scene?
The twist and shout.
There had a guy.
Yeah. It's playing on repeat in the background. It's a big part of the whole
You
show.
jumped right back into talking 100 miles a minute.
Sorry, I got very excited.
Just relax.
It's so cool.
Is it though?
In 2024, the most popular show on television has a Ferris Bueller call-out that's part of the main plot.
Again, I would ask, who are you looking at behind me? What is with you today? Are you okay?
I'm
Did you
good.
get a head injury?
No.
Tell me the truth.
No.
I'm the one who shoved the head injury. Can we talk about that Lions 49ers game real quick?
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. How you doing? You were there.
So today's Thursday, and we're recording for Tuesday.
You seem so okay.
I am okay. So I've received from our fans a lot of well wishes, which is really nice. So thank you to all of you who reached out to see where my mental state was. I was heartbroken that we lost the game, but like I can't ignore that this was the greatest season in the history of being a Lions fan, and the future with Ben Big Johnson coming back. There's a series of T-shirts from I think the 90s. They're called Big Johnson. Have you ever heard of these or seen these?
I know the big dog.
Yeah, so Big Johnson was I think it was like a surfboard, but like they're all really inappropriate innuendo shirts. And I feel like someone in Detroit's gonna fire those back up with Big Ben Johnson.
Yeah.
I'd like maybe I should do that.
But you were at the game. You almost had a heart attack.
Yeah, my iWatch. I sent you a picture of this. I think I posted a picture of it too.
Your Apple Watch?
Yeah,
man.
Thank you. My iWatch. In the third quarter, I started getting this weird haptic on my watch, and it was like shaking and like trying to warn me of something. And I looked down, and it's like, you aren't moving at all, but your heart rate has jumped from resting 90 to like 130. Are you okay? And I was like, great. I'm going to die at Levi Stadium.
We should talk about your resting 90, though. That's kind of high.
Not for a 45-year-old who's carrying a few extra pounds. That's actually a good resting heart rate.
Mine's 45.
Your resting heart rate is not 45.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
Want me to put my watch on and prove it?
Nope. But it's not 45.
It is.
It's not.
I-
That's a lie.
Why would I make this up?
Well, you don't do any sports.
Yeah.
You have no athleticism.
I have a dancer's grace.
You fall in the shower reenacting the scene from that was my favorite part of last week's episode, by the way. You don't even remember.
I fell in the shower?
No, when we talked about you practicing for your wedding.
Oh, yeah.
And that you were doing the lift from Dirty Dancing in the shower by yourself, and you slipped and fell. You're like, Selena, help me. Incredible.
Thank you.
And by the way, I say resting heart rate. Like I was already at the game. So that's my like game time resting heart
Got
rate.
it. Okay.
Yeah, it's not like I wasn't like asleep in bed. I was at, the stadium.
Okay, cool.
I hate you so much.
Yeah.
By the way, do you know what someone pointed out to me? Since going to video, I've been remarkably nicer to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, except for now that you're looking behind me and it creeps me out. But other than that,
Am
I've
I
been
still
super
doing
nice.
it?
No, not right now.
Okay.
But now you're thinking about it.
Well, that's what people do when they try to improve stuff.
Say twist and shout for me.
Twist and shout.
Had a girl. All right, Max. I don't even know where we're at. Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
It's top 3 iconic 80s movies of all time.
Yes,
And
I would agree with that.
And it's weirdly one of the most 80s movies of all time and also one of the most timeless movies. Like, because it taps into this thing. I have this quote from Ben Stein
Yes.
that I think would top this off. Just give me 1 second. Yeah. No. This is actually incredible. Ready?
No, I'm just giving you a little Ben Stein while you pull it up.
I'm going to get emotional about this. I'm serious. This is one of the best quotes I've ever heard.
Whoa. Hold on. Now, do me a favor.
Yep.
There's no rush.
Yeah.
Read it slowly. You don't have to choke on your words. Just nice and slow.
Ben Stein.
Do it slow.
Do it sexy. Ben Stein was exceptionally moved by the film, calling it the most life-affirming movie possible of the entire post-war period. This is to comedies what Gone to the Wind is to epics, Ben Stein added. It will never die because it responds to and calls for such human emotions. It isn't dirty. There isn't anything mean-spirited about it. There's nothing sneering or sniggering about it. It's just wholesome. We want to be free. We want to have a good time. We know we're not going to be able to have fun all our lives. We know we're going to have to buckle down and work. We know we're going to eventually have to become family men and women and have responsibilities and pay our bills. But just to give us a good couple days that we can look back on.
That's great. It's funny because when I hear you, first of all, excellent job. That is the longest that you've ever read something without completely melting down.
It really moved me, actually.
Secondly, it's funny because I feel like if I was inside your head, you're like, see, Max, what you're doing is okay. But again, in the quote, it's like a couple days.
So this is why this movie relates and not relates to me.
Because your entire life is
a day off. Yeah.
Max Sanders' decade off.
You're not supposed to eat chocolate cake 3 times a day. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So before the show started today, Max was telling me about his fiance and like her job and just like real adult things, right?
Yeah.
Stressful, like it is for most people.
Yeah.
Most people have real jobs; they're stressful. And I'm like, what do you sit in your pajamas eating like a big bowl of cereal? You're like, hey,
Crunch.
how can I help, Selena? It's like 2 PM and you got
Rolling
your
around with
Nintendo
the dogs,
out. Yeah,
yeah.
Jesus Christ. I'm surprised that she's just like, get out of my face. You guys need separate rooms like you're setting up right now, because if I had a rough day at work and I came home and I just saw like Trish in her robe eating cereal, I'd be like, get out of here right now.
Living the dream.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Let me tell you what it's about. Ferris Bueller, played by Matthew Broderick, has an uncanny skill at cutting classes and getting away with it. Intending to make one last duck out before graduation, Ferris calls in sick, borrows a Ferrari, and embarks on a one-day journey through the streets of Chicago. On Ferris's trail is high school principal Rooney, played by Jeffrey Jones, determined to catch him in the act. The duck overlord.
He really is in real life.
Well, we won't talk about him in real life. It becomes problematic when we talk. Although he popped up back in films. I don't know how
he's
he
back
recovered.
in the He's in the Deadwood movie.
I don't know how he recovered from them finding
financially. He never recovered.
That's not good. All right. It's interesting because as I look at as obviously we rewatch. Geez, I'm pulling a Max here. We rewatched Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and not only is this one of those defining movies of the 80s and 90s, it's also incredibly rewatchable.
Oh, yeah.
I had no problem sitting through
endless requotes, great scenes, great moments. And also, I mean, the actors are like frozen in time. They're all, outside of Alan Ruck being in Succession, now.
Yeah.
Mia Sara, this is who she is.
Right.
You know what I mean? Jennifer Grey.
What? You didn't like Legend?
She's okay in it.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. With Tommy C?
Yeah. By the way, her love life, do you know who she married?
No.
Okay, should we do this now or later?
I mean, whatever you want. This is your world. This is Max Sanders' decade off. So you do whatever you want.
Her first marriage was to Sean Connery's son.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Sean Connery. I was like, good Lord.
She got divorced.
Yeah.
And she lived your dream, and she married Brian Henson, Jim Henson's son.
Oh, wow.
Like, that is pretty epic, right?
That is my dream.
Yeah.
My father-in-law being Jim Henson would be incredible.
And you can still call Sean Connery.
Yeah. Oh, my God. It's a double dream.
Yeah,
it's true.
I told you.
Put father on the phone. I don't know why she'd have the accent. Junior, are you going over to Henson's, are you? This is incredible.
Broke you a little
Highlander,
bit.
Highlander, grab your sword. You can talk to the elk.
You can only do Sean Connery quotes about quotes that talk to Sean Connery for some reason.
So I do that a lot.
Yeah.
I take it's funny.
Al Pacino.
Yeah, like, hi. Can I? Ha. No, Pacino's the worst. I literally just say, hooah.
Yeah.
I take a flamethrower. That's it. And it's
I'm a fan of man.
My Pacino's terrible, but I covet doing a Pacino accent because I think Pacino's like amazing. Walken I can do. Walken is the only person I can imitate as Walken.
Yeah.
Everybody else I get
You do a good
confused.
job.
I put my pants on.
Scooch,
closer. I just watched Wedding Crashers the other day.
He's weirdly refined in that movie.
He's still a little like awkward and
when
weird.
he's sitting on the bed with Vince Vaughn, that's only a weird point.
Well, you remember when what's his face? Not Vince Vaughn, who's the other dude that's in it?
Wow. Owen Wilson.
Wow, thank you. Owen Wilson is like, if only Congress would, take your plan. He's like, yeah, Congress. He's just so weird.
A sailor.
Clabbear, come here. You got to follow your heart.
6 generations of large breeding.
I put my pants on one leg at a time, but when I'm done, I make gold records.
Yeah.
I need more cowbell, guy.
Ferris. Back to Ferris.
Ferris. All right, Max. I got a lot of facts about this movie. Let me jump into something that I just think is fun, and it'll end up being your TikTok video, I'm sure.
Okay.
So Ferris Bueller's Day Off was written and directed by
John Hughes.
John Hughes has a fetish for personalized license plates like you do for Peter Pan Living. In this movie, I know obviously the Ferrari says nervous. NRV, whatever.
And the 80s were like the big time for license plates.
Yeah, so let me tell you the other ones because he does, I guess, Easter eggs throughout the entire movie. Some of these I didn't even know. Katie's car says VCTN, National Lampoon's Vacation.
No way.
Jeannie's car says TBC, The Breakfast Club.
Oh, that's cool.
Tom's car says MMOM, Mr. Mom. Rooney's car says 4FBDO, Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Oh, my God.
And the only exception in the entire movie is Nervous, which is obviously Cameron's dad.
But that's perfect for Cameron's dad in the car.
I had no idea that all of those license plate had all those tie-ins. All of his other movies have plates as well. I'm not going to get into those. But, Max, that's your interesting Ferris Bueller fact.
So he really cared about this movie, about the details behind the scenes kind of stuff. I didn't know this. You know Charlie Sheen's character?
Yes.
Do you know there's a whole backstory?
Yes.
Okay.
I did not. I don't know what it is. I know we're jumping.
Yeah.
Do the Charlie Sheen one because I want to talk about the Cameron Fry backstory.
Okay.
I think that there's something special there to talk about.
Okay, so Charlie Sheen is just a drugged out guy in a police station. He stayed up for 48 hours.
Stayed up, method acting to its finest.
Yeah.
Didn't sleep for 48 hours, rolled in there ready to rock.
But they gave him a backstory. So his name in the movie is Gary Volbeck.
Yes.
And the whole story is that Ferris Bueller was friends with him in 7th and 8th grade. And he stopped being friends with Ferris, and Ferris wanted to help him. And then his life fell off. He dropped out of school and all that kind of stuff. And he ended up in the police station.
Okay.
His family, if you see who's towing Mr. Rooney's car,
yes,
that's Volbeck towing, which is his dad. And also, if you remember, the mom is selling a house to the Volbecks.
The family from Vermont?
Yeah. So that's...
Why would they be the family from Vermont?
She's selling the Volbeck's house. Sorry.
Got it.
So the commission that she was going to get was for the Volbeck's house.
Oh, look at that. That is fascinating.
Yeah.
That is something I didn't know.
Isn't that neat?
That's very neat.
Yeah.
Here's a backstory that I wish they had dug into a little bit more. So Cameron Fry, right? When Cameron was in Egypt's land,
let my Cameron go.
Cameron's the best. By the way, you're Cameron.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cameron with Ferris Bueller's lifestyle.
Yeah. I'm Ferris Bueller with Cameron's lifestyle.
Yeah.
That's really funny.
Yeah.
That's totally true. I don't want to get out of bed. I really don't want to go to a parade. But if I had to, I could charm anyone.
Do you fake sicknesses?
You want to go to parades, but you're very nervous all the time.
Do you fake sicknesses?
When I was younger, I used to all the time.
Really?
I'd stay home all the time. I love staying home.
Yeah.
Now, not
Bob
so
Barker
much.
kind of stuff or what? Price is Right?
Yeah.
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 Nice.
Yeah. Nice.
I hated staying home.
Really?
I miss school.
But you were like picked on and not very popular.
Yeah, but I was good at school.
Oh, God, you're the worst. All right. So Cameron Fry is wearing a Detroit Red Wings Gordie Howe jersey.
Gordie Howe.
Yeah.
The best.
Yeah. It begs the question why.
Yeah, because he's in Chicago.
Yeah, so there's a couple reasons why. The first of which is, and we always forget this, we never bring it up. Obviously, I mean, there's no question, right? John Hughes is synonymous with Chicago. John Hughes was born in Lansing, Michigan.
Yeah.
He's originally from Michigan, grew up in Michigan.
Northbrook, I think, is where he was.
Yeah, and I think he was in Grosse Pointe for a hot minute as well.
You're right. Yeah.
So that's part of the tie-in. In addition to that Gordie Howe jersey was sent from Gordie Howe. That's
no
actually
way.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
To John Hughes?
Yeah, for knowing they like were going to do this movie, he sent them.
I was wondering because like having that old school jersey is pretty freaking awesome.
It's amazing.
Or was he even playing for the Red Wings at that point? Because he played 40 years.
Oh no, not in the mid '80s. I think he was done by then. I'd have to look. I'm not a hockey guy.
He played a crazy amount of time.
Yeah.
He played 4 decades.
But here's the cool backstory that I don't know a lot of people know, and they didn't reveal any of this. But the idea was, that Cameron has a bad relationship with his father.
Terrible.
But apparently in the movie, there's this whole backstory of Cameron where in the summers he would go visit his grandfather who lived in Michigan. And part of him wearing that jersey was one part kind of showing his love for his grandfather and 2 part giving his dad a middle finger, who is a Blackhawks fan.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, oh, that makes perfect sense.
It's great.
I don't know that you know this. And I don't know that I've even ever shared this with you. And I don't know that anybody knows this outside of people that grew up in Michigan, specifically Oakland County, specifically Birmingham like I did. So
no idea what you're talking about.
I went to Birmingham Seahome. Our crosstown rival was Birmingham Groves. There is a scene in this movie. Do you remember when Ferris is sick and the freshmen go to the payphone?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh man.
And he's doing the
thing on the keyboard.
Yeah.
There is one of those freshmen is wearing a Letterman's jacket. That is a Groves High School Letterman's jacket.
Why?
I don't know.
That's so random.
I'm sure that there is somebody knows.
Yeah.
I tried to read it and I couldn't find it to save my life, but that is my crosstown rival. By the way, between Seahome and Groves, like so many, like Sam Ramey Is it Raimi?
Raimi.
I screw that up all the time. Graduated from Groves.
Oh, cool. So Bruce Campbell did too then.
Yep.
Yeah.
Tim Allen graduated from Seahome.
Less cool.
What?
I don't know.
Tim the Toolman Taylor?
He was a snitch.
Yeah, I guess a little bit.
Yeah.
He did get busted with a lot of white powder.
Yeah,
in his
and he
car.
snitched on everyone. Snitches get stitches.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Although I love Home Improvement.
How can you not love it? Yeah, I mean, how about Buzz Lightyear?
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
That's more contemporary.
To infinity.
And beyond. Welcome to Jurassic Park.
That's not the same thing.
It's basically the same thing. Sloane Peterson.
Sloane Peterson.
This is just a personal thing that I think is fun. So, Mo is short for Morris.
Yeah.
So there aren't a lot of Morrises in the world, except Cameron's father's name is Morris.
Me and Morris will just have a little chat.
And there aren't a lot of Sloanes in the world either, except a good girlfriend of mine from high school. Her name is Sloane. So we'd always joke about how this is the only movie that has both of our names in it.
Is she the coolest?
Sloane Peterson.
Is she the coolest dream girl of the 80s? Coolest.
Can I hot take?
You don't like it?
So Molly Ringwald wanted this role.
Yeah, by the way, John Hughes really gets mad at people for dejecting their roles.
That's not why she didn't get this one. You're right.
He dejected her.
He told her this role isn't big enough for you.
Yeah, which is bold because it was one of his biggest movies of the 80s.
Mm-mm. You're wrong. You're not thinking. You're right about how he gets. So this is what he did to Anthony Michael Hall.
Yeah.
Anthony Michael Hall was supposed to be Ferris.
Yeah.
And in fact, Anthony Michael Hall was interviewed and he said that this movie was like written for him and their break in their relationship is why he didn't get the role. In the case of Sloane Peterson and Molly Ringwald, it's really a small role, Max. At the point in her career that she was at, like it wasn't like she didn't have that many speaking lines. She didn't do that much in this movie.
She's fun. I mean, like he's licking the glass and making obscene gestures. Yeah.
I'm not saying that. She didn't do it for me. I'm not like I don't think like you could have thrown Elizabeth Shue in there. And
Shut up. She's so iconic in this movie.
Not for me.
Do you have a kiss for Daddy?
I know. Matthew Broderick is who made this movie.
Yeah,
unquestionably,
absolutely,
unquestionably. Ed Rooney's pretty damn good too.
Yeah. So you know what's crazy? How he says 9 times?
9 times. So 3 weeks.
So they picked 9 because it sounded the most abrasive coming out of his mouth.
Yeah.
That's how how much he cared about this movie.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No.
Like all the backstory stuff, all the thought process, like the Cameron backstory. I mean, Cameron's based on one of his friends, Burt Bueller from high school.
Bueller,
who like felt sick all the time.
Yeah.
How cool would that be to be like, I'm the bassist.
I'm the guy who was the sick guy all the time.
Yeah.
So the script was written in 6 days, and he wrote it in the face of in the mid '80s. There was going to be a writer's strike, so Hughes pitched a one-liner to Ned Tannen, and this is what he pitched: "I want to do this movie about a kid who takes a day off from school, and that's all I know so far."
Sold.
Yeah. I mean, also at that point, it's John Hughes. So you can kind of do whatever you want.
So has anyone done like a one day off kind of like thing like this? I think Snow Day was pretty fun, actually. That was a Nickelodeon movie in the early 2000s.
Yeah, I think that
you never hit the same highs.
No, I mean, so let me say this. This to me is there's a larger genre.
Dazed and Confused.
Of not Dazed and Confused, because Dazed and Confused isn't
a one day.
Isn't relegated to an event.
Yeah.
The Hangover.
Okay. Yeah.
Movies that are singular event based movies that are tied to like that one moment.
The one day stories.
Yeah, the one day stories. Yeah. So I think there's a handful of those out there. Yeah. But to your Ben Stein quote, this is like clean, family friendly, and it speaks to this is what John Hughes' superpower was. He just understood what it was like somehow to be a kid.
Yeah. Well, he was super lonely as a kid. He never really had friends. He admired Picasso, John Lennon, and other people who like moved their medium forward. He moved the teen comedy into like a real place.
Yeah, and there's heart, miles and miles of heart in this movie. And I have to say too, like if you think about, and again, your high school experience is so different than everyone else's because you're a weirdo. But most people, no problem. Most people, they're going through that when they're in high school. They're like, well, the scene when Sloane asked Cameron, what's your plan? And he's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And then they're like, Cameron's going to be a fry cook at whatever the name
Venus.
At Venus. Yeah. There's this element. I remember my senior year of high school being like, what am I doing? Like, I mean, I knew I was going to college, but then what? Right.
Yeah.
So I think he taps into all that. He taps in. High school kids are basically all like manic depressive, right? They live in a complete state of invincibility, party hard, let's go, or they're just like, my life is over, my life is crap.
Yeah.
And that's what this movie feels like.
That's why pop punk music exists.
That's something you would say. that resonates with no one except you. What else do we have here? Shermer High School makes its third appearance.
Fourth.
You got 16 Candles, Breakfast Club, and then Ferris is the
Weird
third.
Science.
Shermer was in Weird Science? Are you sure it was Shermer?
Yeah.
All right. You have to check your notes. I believe you.
Yeah, I'm right.
All right.
Yeah.
Easy.
Okay.
Goodness me.
He also stole a line from the Breakfast Club for this movie. When he's talking about Cameron's house, and he's like, it's very cold and it's very beautiful and you can't touch anything.
Can't touch anything, yep.
That was supposed to be Ali Sheedy's line about her home life. And he's like, I'm going to keep this for something else.
Oh, look at that.
Isn't that neat?
That is very neat.
Yeah.
Did you ever see Biloxi Blues?
No.
You need to.
It's good,
It's
right?
good, yeah. It's like a fun, lighter version of Full Metal Jacket.
Yeah, I always confuse it with Mississippi Burning because of the name. And then I start watching Mississippi Burning and I don't.
No, two very different movies.
Yeah.
But Alan Ruck and Matthew Broderick are both in Biloxi Blues.
Yeah.
And when
Wait, a friendly version of Full Metal Jacket's insane.
when you watch it, you're like, this is a friendly version of Full Metal Jacket.
Yeah.
It's
It's an insane thing to say.
a very insane thing to say.
Yeah.
So when
Joker.
when Broderick got the role, then they were pushing to get Ruck, and they were concerned about Ruck's age because he's
29.
considerably older. They're like, yeah, but in Biloxi Blues, they played friends, and plus they knew each other. They already had established chemistry. I think they shared like a trailer with each other in Biloxi Blues, so they knew who each other were.
And they did a play together too, I think.
What was it called?
I think Biloxi Blues.
The play?
They did a play of the movie.
Okay,
Yeah.
if you say so.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you're wrong.
Well, because
I'm not saying you're right either.
Well, because I know that his George Peterson voice was making fun of the director of the play.
Sloane Peterson's father?
Yeah,
Go ahead.
George Peterson.
I know.
You didn't do his voice very much.
I do. I like doing it. I was waiting for my opening. Sloane Peterson. Mind your P's and Q's, Rooney.
Yeah, I should say you do.
Frankly, you're an asshole. Another bleepity bleep.
The first time you see Cameron's face, the first time you saw the movie, was that like I think that's like the turning point where you're like, this movie is so unique and by itself.
So when they're doing, to your point, when they're doing the imitation, Cameron Ruck is doing that imitation on purpose to try to get Broderick to laugh, because when they were on Biloxi Blues, that's exactly who the actor sounded like. That's what you were just saying.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm saying, you're looking at me like, I know I'm agreeing. Okay. I am agreeing with you. Jesus Christ.
It's like, am I alone up here? What's going on?
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
100%.
What's your favorite one-liner from this movie?
Everybody goes to the zoo.
What's that?
When they're by the hot tub and Cameron's lost his mind,
Oh, yeah.
and Sloane's like, "It's okay, Cameron. I could go crazy too." Everybody goes to the zoo. I'm like, everybody goes to the zoo.
Never had one lesson.
Yeah,
Just playing the clarinet.
That's really good too. That's really good.
By the way, high school yearbook quotes. I don't believe in isms. I believe in myself.
It's a good one.
My God, this movie, you could literally just close your eyes and pick, and you could have a yearbook quote.
How do you feel about the fourth wall breaking?
I'm the biggest fan of this on the face of the earth.
Yeah.
So when he's talking about the clammy hands,
that's
and like
the time I asked Max on our podcast about fourth wall breaking. Life's fast. You gotta eat your cereal, and I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I mean, when he first starts talking to you, and he's just the cool,
Talk of shit.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
or like when he like blocks you down, he blocks you off when he's in the shower.
I'm sorry. What do you? I'm trying to break the fourth wall.
Yeah, I got it. You're still here. The movie's over. Go home.
Oh,
I mean,
jeez.
it's what movies nowadays do on the regular.
You're a movie nowadays.
What?
Nothing. Remember in Deadpool when he does this at the end? Yeah.
It's fantastic.
You're fantastic.
Do you not like it?
I do.
Okay.
I just asked you what you thought about it. That's all.
I think it's revolutionary.
Pretty in Pink and Ferris Bueller's Day Off both came out in 86 and grossed a whopping $110 million.
Most of which was Ferris Bueller.
Yeah.
74 was Ferris.
Yeah. That's still a good year, though, for Mr. Hughes.
Oh, yeah.
Fitzhughes! not the same. Anthony Michael Hall, I think I told you about this. He believed both Ducky and Ferris were written for him. Anthony Michael Hall would have been fantastic as Ducky, by the way.
Yes. Not as Ferris, though.
No.
Yeah.
Especially like pulling from 16 Candles and that the established relationship they already had. I would have liked to see that.
No, absolutely.
That would have been fun.
Yeah. Did you know Bill Paxton refused the role of the garage attendant, and John Hughes never gave him a role again or offered anything?
Yes.
Yeah.
What is I know you have this list. I thought I had it, but I'm sure you have it. Who are all of the men who are considered for Matthew Broderick's role?
Oh, I mean,
Of Ferris Bueller.
So it's Jim Carrey, John Cusack, Rob Lowe, Johnny Depp, Tom Cruise, Robert Downey Jr., and Michael J. Fox. Michael J. Fox could have done it.
Yeah. I'm trying to think who could have possibly.
John Cusack's pretty freaking cool.
Cusack could have done it.
Yeah.
But see, Cusack's like this understated, like he's not. the bravado's not there. Like,
You don't think?
I will say also, other than this movie, what do you like Broderick in?
So I don't like Lady Hawk, but I like him in it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, God. Well, this is going to blow your mind. He was the voice of Simba in Lion King.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's pretty good.
That's very good. But like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
I know. It's like he never got back to this high. Oh, War Games.
War Games, he was good.
Yeah.
The Freshman. Have you ever seen The Freshman?
No.
So it's got Jesus.
Dustin Hoffman, right?
No.
Oh, I'm thinking of what this movie was a sequel to, right?
Yeah. It's a play, like it's meant to be. I can't.
Is it
even
Marlon
explain
Brando?
it. Yes.
Yeah.
So it's like if The Godfather was actually The Godfather and Broderick, like Brando's reprising the role as the Don.
Oh, cool.
And it's kind of like a tongue-in-cheek comedy. It's good. It's good. I got to tell you something, and I know this is going to sound weird, but is Matthew Broderick the biggest one-hit wonder actor? And let me say why I'm saying this for a second. I recognize War Games. I'm not saying he technically had one hit, but can you think of any other actor who has had such a role, such an impactful role, and then nothing that even scraped close to it for the rest
Absolutely.
of his career?
Ray Liotta. Goodfellas, he's on.
You know what else he was incredible in?
Goodfellas, he's on screen, on par with Joe Pesci, Robert
Yeah.
De Niro, and then he's nothing for the rest of his life.
I don't know if he's nothing for the rest of his life.
Well, Copland, he's good, and like, he
No.
never gets close to that.
There's a movie.
He's the biggest star in the world.
What is that movie?
I'm right on this. This is a great call.
Hold on, it might be. What is that movie? With the
Hannibal?
the mall cop who's bipolar.
Paul Blart?
No, not Paul Blart.
Oh, Seth Rogen one.
Yeah, have you seen that movie?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's terrible.
He's really good in that movie.
Yeah, but that's not an iconic role.
Yeah, I mean, you're probably right. Ray Liotta's close.
Yeah. In that same, it's the boyish energy kind of thing. So he's great. Matthew Broderick's great in Election, though.
Oh, yeah, he was really good in Election.
Yeah.
You're right. You know what? He was. He was really good in Election.
And Godzilla, he's not terrible.
Yeah,
Cable, what do you think of Cable Guy?
I love Cable. You know what? Okay, I'm retracting what I said.
And also
Cable Guy's great.
Project X is fun.
Yeah.
The monkey.
Yeah.
Helen Hunt and a monkey.
Yeah. It's just really weird because maybe I should have phrased it a little bit differently. You would watch that movie and you'd be like, yeah, this is going to be the Robert Downey Jr. of the 80s and 90s, or this is going to be
point,
like, and he just never gets there.
Man, Robert Downey would be good.
Yeah, he
in
could
this
have done
role.
this. He could have done it. The snarkiness.
He would talk
could have
really
done this.
fast and then really slow.
Johnny Depp could have done this.
You think so?
Yeah, if you think of Fear and Loathing.
Oh yeah. So it's got to be younger and more
I know,
charming.
but think of like the wildness. I don't know.
Yeah,
We're rambling.
But
Max.
you know what's crazy? You know, Jennifer Grey was engaged to Matthew Broderick and Johnny Depp in the same month.
I didn't know that. I did know that the two actors the actor and actress that played Ferris Bueller's mom and dad met each other and fell in love in this movie and got married as well.
Also divorced.
Yes.
92.
As did Jennifer Grey and Matthew Broderick. They got divorced as well, obviously.
Yeah, they were in a horrific car accident. You know that?
Yeah, I did hear. Like,
so in Northern Ireland, this never gets talked about.
Didn't they kill someone?
A mother and a daughter.
Yeah.
And like it kind of got brushed under.
Yeah.
And maybe that's why their careers didn't.
I guess. I don't know.
When Jennifer Connelly changed her schnoz.
Yeah.
That was her.
Not Jennifer Connelly. Jennifer Grey.
Yep. Sorry.
It's okay.
See, if she was Jennifer Grey, like with her nose, I would have remembered.
The time of
She
my
says her
life.
biggest regret of her life because people couldn't recognize her.
Right.
Yeah.
She was on one of those like sitcoms like Will and Grace or something and made jokes about like how she was unrecognizable.
Oh, really?
I can't remember what it was, but it was you're right. You're totally unrecognizable.
It's such a bummer.
Yeah.
She's great.
I still think she's great.
In this movie, when she winks at Ferris and like is actually finally on his side, or I think the best acting in this movie
is her.
It's her in the car with her mom screaming.
Oh yeah.
I can't do
it. I think that this goes back to another point too. We did an episode a long time ago, and I want to say you brought this up, but just about how these movies like unfairly portray the adversarial relationship between parents and kids. And that it always seems like the kids are always like either the parents are awful. And I think that there's like a very nice balance in this movie.
Yeah.
That there's a little bit of like, okay, I'm tricking mom and dad, but overall, these are just two parents that like love their kids. And
yeah, the one line that seems out of place in this entire movie, like it's written perfectly. I wouldn't change one line, except when the mom and dad are finally back at the house talking about the sister. Yeah. And they say, I think we should shoot her.
No, I think that's the whole point. Like
would you ever say that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think you.
I don't know kids.
Yeah, I think it's not kids. You just are socially special. The purpose.
That I don't like shooting people?
No, it's not the shoot. Let me know when you're done.
I'm done.
You're so easily confused. It's not that was even real. They weren't really going, because I get so frustrated when you do this. You take things over literal, and I have to explain it to you like you're a baby. Gaga googa.
Yeah.
That all the time. Like if I walk in the house and my oldest is giving my wife a hard time, she's like, "Oh, I've had enough of her." I'm like, "Time to get rid of her."
Yeah.
Like those are tongue-in-cheek jokes. Like they obviously weren't going to shoot her.
Got it.
So it wasn't out of place at all. I shouldn't have had to explain that to you, but I'm so happy that I did.
Thank you.
No problem, Max.
Yeah.
Anything for you. The parade scene, somehow they accidentally scheduled shooting for the exact same time. What is the name of the parade?
It's a German festival, right?
Yeah, it's got like some name. It's worth finding. Hold
That's
on.
why the girls are wearing lederhosen.
The Von Steuben Day Parade.
Yep.
The video that you see, the shooting of all the people like singing and dancing to Twist and Shout, those are actual just bystanders.
Yeah, it's
and
awesome.
They were doing it, and Hughes is like, "Keep it. This is great."
It feels like such good energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like those moments. I'm sure they have a more profound name, but it's almost where it's Billy Madison when all of a sudden 2/3 of the way through the movie
They start singing?
Yeah, they start singing, and it's just weird. Would you like a piece of gum? Like that's what that scene was.
Well, this one feels tied into Ferris Can Do Anything, and it was the cherry on top. You didn't think he could top the day at all, and finally he does this thing that's so over the top.
This one goes out to a good friend, Cameron, who didn't think he'd seen anything
good
cool
all
or good.
day.
Yeah, I kind of butcher that a little bit more.
But I thought it was cool too. They had a scene where Ferris asked his dad where their bonds were, so he could cash them in, and that's how he paid for the day.
Okay,
but they thought it made him look like too much of a thief.
Yeah,
they wanted it to be like a good time. He like had the money laying around.
Yeah,
so I think that was better.
I do too.
Because you are curious. You're like, how did he pay for all this?
I also think that something incredible about this movie is we always talk about quotability, but it's not even quotability. Like even just Abe Froman, the Sausage King of Chicago, that is regularly said in my life.
Yeah,
right. I've made reservations when we have like birthdays and stuff for people. And
really?
I'll put it under Abe Froman.
That's awesome. I'm doing that now.
Of course, you have to.
Yeah.
Table for 3, Froman, Abe Froman. And they're like, what does this say? The Sausage King of
Chicago.
The best is you get some like hostess who's like 22 years old and has
Snooty.
no idea what, snotty.
Snooty.
Touch me now, you rat. There's got to be another phone in here somewhere. Find it.
This is Sergeant Peterson.
I'm looking for Abe Froman.
Devastatingly handsome.
What's he look like? Leather jacket, white t-shirt, devastatingly handsome.
And you say Sloane doesn't have a big role.
I know. Sergeant Peterson, Chicago Police Department.
She is the coolest, by the way, with having Cameron watch her change.
Yeah.
Were you okay with that, Cameron? He's like,
all right. The other thing that's funny, the scene when Cameron and
Sloane?
and Ferris are pranking Ed Rooney.
Yeah.
The best part about that scene, other than the absurdity of pranking your
Why'd
principal,
you kick me?
Yeah. So that whole sequence between the two of them just stinks of that's what best friends are.
Yeah.
Like they are comfortable enough to say like, well, you hurt my feelings.
Where's your brain?
Yeah. Why'd you kick me? Where's your brain?
Yeah.
I asked you first.
Yeah. Well, Hughes let people improvise a lot, which is crazy. He's so script driven, but he also gives actors the leeway. He's a very complicated guy.
Yeah.
Like I'm really curious what he's like in person because you get these interviews with him and he's kind of detached.
You talking about John Hughes?
Yeah.
He's dead.
No, I'm saying watching the interviews.
Oh, okay. Well, you said like I'm kind of curious what he was. It made it sound like you wanted to meet him
I mean, not now.
in the afterlife.
Yeah, before 2009.
Yeah.
But he just, I guess it's probably because of the cocaine highs of like the 80s too.
Yeah.
That like, because he wrote scripts in 2-3 days. He died of a heart attack in 2009. Like, probably was partaking.
Do you know that or are you speculating?
Speculating.
Okay. That is probably not the best thing to speculate.
Okay. Yeah, you're right.
I just don't get if there was some article written or he had been like arrested for it. I have never in my life heard that he was into drugs, and you're just out here like slandering John Hughes, the greatest director and writer of the 80s and 90s. And you're like, yeah, he had a drug. Maybe it was the prostitutes. That's probably what made him write that way.
He made movies with Chevy Chase in the 80s.
Now we're bringing. How many more people can we drag
Chevy
into
Chase
this?
is known.
I'm just saying, like, how does that make you feel good as a person to drag these poor innocent people?
I feel better about myself actually now. Yeah. Me.
Max, where are we? What are we talking about?
He can.
That was from swing, swing.
That was from Alan Ruck's childhood.
I know.
He used to say that all the time. They were at an actual game.
Yeah, I think there was some confusion because they showed clips when Rooney is in the pizza parlor. It's a
Who's
clip
winning?
of a different
the Bears.
game. What's the score? 0 zip zip. Who's winning? The Bears.
It's like throwaway lines like that. It's like that gives me so much joy.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, now I know your favorite thing to talk about is the Ferrari.
Yes.
Talk about the Ferrari.
So the 1962 Spider GT. It's one of the rarest Ferraris there is. There's
so rare that they made replicas for the movie, and they wouldn't even get the real ones for them to use in the movie.
Yeah, they had junky MG ones that wouldn't start.
Don't ever say junky MG to me. I'm kidding.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. The cars were junky from back in the day.
All right.
So the car's so valuable and so like well known. When people saw this movie for the first time, they wrote angry letters that they destroyed one.
Right.
Yeah, they were just so upset.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
I mean, you have to have a car like that too, where it's like Cameron's willing to sacrifice, like, I'll get you a limo, whatever.
Yeah.
And at the end, when he destroys it, and he's like, I'm gonna be okay. By the way, he was not okay. Yeah. His dad probably.
No, I think,
you think so?
You
think it opened the dialogue with his dad?
So I don't know. Again, this is
fun speculation.
It is. This is what I love most about John Hughes movies, and I know obviously Howard Deutsch directed some of John Hughes's movies.
Kind of Wonderful.
Yeah, so like I jump in between them, but let's take the Deutsch Hughes collection and just sandwich it for a minute.
Okay.
He does this incredible job at creating something layered. So the first layer is just visually appealing, easy to understand jokes. It's a good time. Underneath that are so many subtext and stories and reflections of society. And so like in this movie, this really troubled relationship, right? Where you see Ferris like faking sick and two doting parents that care about him. And I know I'm going deeper than I should, but
no, I'm curious.
As a parent, I think about this all the time. Ferris's, and even his sister, right? Even his sister who
Jeanie.
Definitely, like Jeanie has a chip on her shoulder, but Jeanie has incredible confidence. She walks right into Rooney's office and was like, where's Mr. Rooney?
Yeah.
Like she'll call people out, she'll call the police. She'll kick an intruder in the face
triple
14
kick.
times. Yeah. The confidence that the Bueller children walk through their life with is directly associated with having two parents that love the crap out of them.
Yeah.
The weakness and self-conscious and nervous behavior of Cameron Fry is directly related to, she's in Decatur. Hopefully she won't come back, referring to his mom.
Yeah.
Or, Morris and I don't see eye to eye.
Just have a little chat.
So I think that not only is there this fun kind of story going on, but there's also this like real reflection of like that everybody knew that one kid whose parents were kind of like awful, and that's how it affected him. And that's found in all of his movies. Look at The Great Outdoors, which is like one of my favorite movies of all time. You look at Chet and you look at Roland and you look at their kids and you look at how he's spending all this time to develop this relationship. And that scene at the end of the movie where the girls are stuck in the bear cave.
With the dynamite.
And he's like, what do I do? What do I do? And Chet grabs him like, they're your daughters.
Yeah.
Like, go save them. Yeah. And that pivot, right? And that same pivot, I think if we spend a minute, we could find that turning point, that pivot in every Hughes movie, right?
Yeah, Some Kind of Wonderful. It's the diamond scene with his dad.
Yep. This is fun. I like this.
Yeah.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off. It's Cameron kicking the car.
Yeah. Pretty in Pink. Is it the talk with the dad at the end, finally, where she's like, I don't have to take care of you kind of thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, right?
Yeah.
And then
Weird
Breakfast Club, they do an amazing job. They allow every single character to have their pivot point.
Yep.
Weird Science is the at the end when Lisa is like, you don't need me anymore.
Yep.
And they're saying goodbye to her. And they've got the girls, and Gary and Wyatt have kind of moved past their like nerdness,
Yeah, and 16 Candles is the crush talk with the dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is the greatest scene
You love
between
that
a
so
father
much.
and daughter. Because it's just I'm sorry. I am going to go off on
No,
this.
this is the Hughes podcast.
I know this is the Hughes podcast. Yeah. That's what we should call it. In 16 Candles, which is a troubling movie for a number of reasons, but whatever.
Long Duck Dong.
There's some inappropriate stuff that wouldn't carry that well today. In the 80s, like today in 2024, it's much more prevalent and it's much more accepted that, a daughter comes to talk to her dad about the first time she has her period or her crush or all these different things. That wasn't as happening as frequently. In the 80s, it was still, I'm the dad, I'm the buffoon, I'm going to go work on the car and get oil on my hands. That moment when they're on the couch and she is opening her heart up to her father about having her heart broken, and he just looks at her and says, well, I don't know what's wrong with him. I think you're wonderful.
Yeah.
Like, it's just the most touching, wonderful father-daughter moment ever.
Have you had that
ever.
yet?
No.
Okay.
My daughters have unlimited confidence, and I don't think are going to require me telling them how great they
Just
are.
man eaters.
My son, on the other hand, may need me to hold him gently in my arms and help him. But yeah, I may have to call like their first boyfriends and be like, it's going to be okay. I don't think I'm going to have to do it with them. Max, other facts, and then we'll talk about actors and actresses.
Let's see. Louis Anderson was really pissed off about this movie.
His role was super small.
So he was supposed to have a talking point, and they took it out for the...
I hear that you are feeling blue. I should do the whole thing.
Oh, my God. So the life moves pretty fast, quote.
I don't know what a smooth fast is.
Life moves pretty fast.
Yeah, that's right.
There it is.
Sometimes you gotta stop and smell the roses.
He adjusted that to that quote on the day of shooting. It was originally, do you know what the original was?
No.
It's terrible.
What is it?
Yeah, life is a carousel, a great big crazy ball of pure living, breathing joy and delight. You got to get one. It sounds like an ad.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Like it's like you're buying a carousel.
Yeah. Have you ever thought about buying a carousel?
An actual physical giant one?
Yeah.
No.
But are you thinking about it now?
Now I am a little bit. Yeah. Yeah.
Selena, I know work has been tough this week.
Here's a carousel.
Go in the backyard. I've got a surprise for you.
She would dig it, actually.
Jesus Christ, your neighbors. Hey, Max, what do you got back there? Oh, nothing.
Yeah, we have rotting deer heads in our front yard.
Good.
Yeah, not mine.
Nope, not yours.
No.
That's welcome to the neighborhood.
Yeah.
All right, what else?
First cut of this movie was 2 hours and 45 minutes.
And it was awful. Nobody liked it.
Yeah.
And didn't Hughes spend like 2 straight weeks recutting the whole thing
Yep.
because it just fell flat.
Yep.
Nobody was laughing. Okay.
And
isn't that wild how that happens with a lot of movies? And the inverse, where sometimes they take a great movie,
yeah,
and then the studio gets involved and they cut it into something that's garbage.
So the 2 examples I can think of, Rambo was 3 hours and terrible, and they cut it down without him.
So First Blood.
Yeah.
Got to say First
Blood.
And you're right. And additionally, when you hear that story, crazy, he cut it hoping it would never be shown.
Yeah.
The way that he approached cutting it, and he inadvertently discovered this whole new art form of how to cut the movie, and voila.
Well, you don't show the main character.
Yeah, and I have to tell you, man, God, have we done a John Rand? We have not done First Blood.
We've done the Sly Arnold conversation, and
we need to do First Blood.
Okay, cool.
Not next week. That's a little too. I need more time.
Serious.
It's so serious.
Yeah.
Oh man, First Blood.
His guts are everywhere, man. And that scene at the end is Oscar worthy.
God didn't make Rambo.
Yeah,
I did. Truman.
Make a Billy goat. Puke.
Welcome.
Yeah.
To Jurassic Park.
And the other movie I think about that they messed up the cutting, Once Upon a Time in America. You ever seen that?
Mm-mm.
Oh, it's crazy. It's Robert De Niro, Sergio Leone, who did The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
Okay.
They cut it to an hour and a half, and finally they released it as a 4-hour movie, and it's like one of the best movies ever.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ooh la la.
Yeah.
You ready to go to characters?
Yeah.
All right, let's go to characters.
So I mean, John Hughes.
Hughes.
We've talked about him already.
I mean, I just for poops and giggles, I just want to read the John Hughes. I'm gonna get some of that. Dun, 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 dun. All right, I am going to do, it's always tricky to read his entire list because his list on writing is almost as long as his.
Are you about to do
my God, I was like, what are you doing?
The liar, inhalation. Well, speeding.
No, that's Ace Ventura, Pet Detective too.
He did both. Yeah.
I just, it was weird that you quoted that one. It's obviously not the right one to quote, but that's fine. All right, writing. Mr. Mom, Vacation, 16 Candles, The Breakfast Club, European Vacation, Weird Science, Pretty in Pink, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Some Kind of Wonderful, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, She's Having a Baby, The Great Outdoors, Uncle Buck, National Lampoon, Christmas Vacation, Home Alone, Career Opportunities, Dutch, Curly Sue, Uncle Buck, Beethoven, Home Alone 2, Dennis the Menace, Beethoven 2, and anything else that I care about.
No,
Home Alone 3, we're good.
Yeah. It's incredible.
That's writing.
Yeah.
Now let's go on to directing. Directing, 16 Candles, Breakfast Club, Weird Science, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, She's Having a Baby.
Why don't you do that?
Because I just do every time. Uncle Buck, Curly Sue, and I think that's it.
How's Curly Sue?
I liked it.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
What about Career Opportunities?
Career Opportunities is great because it's got Jennifer Connelly
Riding a horse.
and she is.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I got to see it.
You got to see it.
I'll watch this week.
It's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, what were we talking about?
So, I mean, characters. Matthew Broderick. By the way, I found one other cute fact about him.
Tell me.
He
It
had
better be cute, though.
He had dinner with his mom every Sunday from 1981 to 2003 when she died.
Oh,
I told you.
Really cute.
Yeah, I told you. I knew you were going to get. I knew I got you. Alan Ruck, who played Cameron Fry, He's in Bad Boys, which you still need to see. It's one of the best movies ever.
I have, with Will Smith and Martin Lawrence.
No, the 83 Sean Penn.
I know.
He was in Class. Young Guns 2, I haven't seen. He's in that.
I've seen Young Guns too, but I don't remember where he was in that.
Probably got shot early.
Okay.
Seems like it. Speed, he's on the bus. He's the jerky guy.
Speed.
Yeah. Twister, he's Rabbit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Spin City, he played Stewart. He's really
I do
good in
remember
that.
him in
Yeah.
Spin City, yeah.
And Succession, he's Conor Roy.
I tried watching Succession.
I
just
can't
couldn't get
believe
into
you don't like it.
Yeah.
So Mia Sara played Sloane Peterson. Like I said,
Sloane Peterson.
she's married twice to two of the coolest people ever.
For sure.
Yeah.
Families. Two of the coolest families.
Yeah,
ever.
yeah.
Well, no, Brian Hanson's cool.
Yeah.
Hanson.
Yeah. She's Lillian Legend.
Is Brian Hanson the name of the guy on To Catch a Predator?
That's Chris Hansen.
That's Chris Hansen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why don't you have a seat?
Oh, you knew that a little quick. That's Chris Hansen.
Yeah.
He's right over there.
Yeah.
Why don't you put that pizza down?
She was in Time Cop.
Really?
Yeah.
Why can't I remember what she was in Time Cop?
She was
Time Cop.
She was the
forever.
Time.
She was
Morris Day and the mother effing Time.
Jesus Christ.
And also kind of cool. She's the first actress ever to play a live action Harley Quinn. In 2002, there was a TV show called Birds of Prey.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So she played Harley Quinn.
Okay.
I thought that was cool.
All right.
Jeffrey Jones. Woof.
He's in a lot.
But he was great.
Yeah, I mean, most importantly, he was the Doc Overlord.
Howard the Duck. So he's also in Stay Tuned. He's the devil.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I know who he is in Stay Tuned.
Stay Tuned's incredible.
Stay Tuned's great, especially the meta scene where Jack Tripper's back at Three's Company.
Yeah.
That's the best.
No.
Yeah, that's the best. The absolute best. Yeah, the movie is really good.
Yeah.
John Ritter's so talented.
Yeah, he was awesome.
Yeah.
He was like a good straight man who could be funny too.
He was a nice Chevy Chase.
That's a great analogy.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he wasn't snarky, but he had the physical chops.
Yeah.
Because his physical comedy was incredible.
Yeah.
But he was just nice.
Yeah, I love that.
All right.
Beetlejuice, he was Charles, obviously.
Yes.
Hunt for Red October, Ed Wood, The Pest, Devil's Advocate. He was
really good. Remember when he goes jogging?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's good devil's advocate.
It's kind of what happened in his life, basically.
I know.
Jennifer Grey had a great 80s. Red Dawn. American Flyers,
Yep.
Dirty Dancing, and that was pretty much it.
Isn't it funny how in Red Dawn, her and Swayze hated each other, and yet she was willing to do Dirty Dancing?
Yeah, but you could feel their like kind of
tension.
Yeah,
it was good.
Like when he was teaching her to dance, I could tell he was actually frustrated with her. He's like,
good.
this freaking
they were. God, what a great movie that is.
It's incredible.
I love that movie. I watched Dirty Dancing 100 times.
Yeah.
Did we ever do a Dirty Dancing episode?
We did top 25 dance scenes.
Yeah, we didn't do Dirty Dancing.
We were ambitious, by the way, in the beginning. Top 25? That's insane. That sounds exhausting.
Yeah, I can't do that. I'm good for like one episode now, and that's it.
Sydney Pickett played Kate Bueller. She's in Hot to Trot.
Yep.
So
I love Hot to Trot.
Lin-Man Ward, who played Tom Bueller, was in Moscow on the Hudson. He's Mr. Grady in Nightmare on Elm Street 2.
What's the name of the of Rooney's secretary? Because she's also in Planes, Trains, and does the
Eddie McClure.
F-scene. Yeah, she's in a lot of Hughes stuff.
Yeah, so she has 225 acting credits.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? The pencils coming out of her hair. When she had her hair styled up like that, John Hughes goes up to her. First thing he says, he goes, "How many pencils do you think you could fit in there?" And they like started doing it, and that's why they put it in the movie.
That's awesome.
And she improv. He's one righteous dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, when she's she's on the phone pretending to be Ed Rooney,
yeah.
that's just her. Yeah, that's just her.
It's really funny.
So she's in Cheech and Chong's next movie. Mr. Mom, she's a checkout lady.
Yep.
Back to School, she's Marge. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, like you said, she's the car rental girl.
The car rental girl.
And she's a voice in The Little Mermaid, and she's natural born.
What voice is she in The Little Mermaid?
I don't know, some obscure one.
All right,
yeah.
Sorry, Jesus.
You ruined it.
Come on and kiss the girl.
Yes, he's Sebastian.
Sha-la-la-la-la-la, don't look. All right, sorry.
Natural Born Killer, she's Mallory's mom.
There she is.
You done?
I'm sorry, I love that song.
Richard Edson, who's the parking lot attendant. He's a that guy.
Yeah, he's in Weird Science.
Is he?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
He's in.
Do you know anything, or you just?
No, I know because we done him before. I thought he was in Weird Science.
He's in
Look
Howard.
it up.
He's in Howard the Duck.
Maybe it was Howard the Duck.
He's Richie. He's the
bad guy.
Manager.
Yeah.
Desperately Seeking Susan, you newspaper guy.
Slow down.
Sorry.
You almost said Desperately Seeking Susan. Whatever it is that you just said was
Do
not
the
even
right
close.
thing. He's
You do the right thing.
He's one of the brothers, and in Super Mario Brothers, he's Spike Koopa.
Yep. Are you sure he was not in Weird Science?
I'm pretty sure.
All right.
Yeah.
My bad.
You're thinking of Vernon Wells.
Yes.
Yeah.
I wasn't, but I know who Vernon Wells
Yeah.
is.
Ben Stein.
Bennett.
Yeah.
Let off some steam.
By the way, do you know how Ben Stein got in this movie?
No, I do know that he was actually an economics Graduate professor. Okay,
Yeah. Through 6 Degrees of Separation, Richard Nixon knew a financial advisor who knew someone in the movies.
Oh yeah, he used to write speeches. He was a speechwriter for Nixon. That's right.
So I guess, John Hughes and Ben Stein were like the 2 only Republicans in the movie industry at the time.
Oh, wow.
So that's what they bonded over.
That's so funny that Hughes is a Republican.
I know, right?
Although it kind of makes sense, though, because he is like Chicago, affluent white suburb.
Exactly. Just don't tax me.
Right, yeah. He's more of a he's probably like civil, like social liberal and then financial conservative.
Yeah, back then it wasn't as
I'm
divided.
actually kind of that way, too.
Yeah.
I'm like, when it comes to anything having to do with like social, I'm like liberal as all can be. And then when it comes to fiscal, I'm super conservative.
Yeah. Cool.
What are you, Max? Where do you fall on the political spectrum?
I'm just blue all over.
Yeah.
Yeah. I blew myself. What's it called? Ben Stein in The Mask. We all wear masks, metaphorically speaking.
Yeah.
So good. And when Ben Stein's money was like a thing for him.
Oh, that show was super
It was really
popular.
fun. Yeah. And Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. He's the airport guy. Mm-hmm. And Ghostbusters 2, he's the public works official.
Yep.
And I didn't realize this. Buffy the Vampire Slayer is in this movie.
Christy Swanson.
Yeah.
She's in the classroom at the beginning.
Oh, no problem whatsoever.
Christy Swanson, if had it not been for Elizabeth Shue, Christy Swanson would be my girl.
Yeah. But she's great.
But she can't replace Elizabeth Shue.
Can't.
She, remember in Hot Shots when he's like, sucking that chest?
Oh, yeah.
That's her. That's Christy Swanson.
Oh, my God. You're right. Yeah. And that's all I got for people.
That's all you need.
Yeah.
You don't need to do any more.
Yeah.
You're good. Let's talk recasting.
Okay. Nowadays or then?
Any era. So we already talked about Ferris Bueller. So let me ask you something. Who could have done, let's just do Ferris and Cameron. Who could have done Ferris and Cameron? I'm putting them together because I don't think you can recast in a vacuum. So like if you pick someone to recast for Ferris, you have to pick someone who would have chemistry the way that Ruck and Broderick did. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So you're not replacing just Ferris to be with Ruck. You're replacing both.
I would go, modern day, Glenn Powell and Miles Teller.
Okay.
A Rooster and Hangman. Yeah. Because Glenn Powell is kind of like this overly confident kind of guy.
Go further back. Give me not so current.
Okay. So we're going 90s?
Give me the best fit. I don't care what era. You can give me Sinatra if you want. Just give me the best fit.
Oh, I got a good one. Let's go Ben Affleck as Ferris and Matt Damon as Cameron.
It's not bad.
Like Good Will Hunting kind of stuff.
Yeah. Not terrible.
Yeah.
Give me
Jay and Silent Bob.
No, this is old though. We got to go when they were younger.
Yeah.
Give me Jack Black as Cameron.
Interesting.
And give me Christopher Reeves.
What?
As Ferris. I'm kidding. I trailed.
No, you should do Jack Black as Ferris.
Oh, because he's got to be like more handsome.
Maybe he's got so much charm that he can actually do it.
No.
Yeah.
Charm. Who do we have with charm? I don't have a good one.
I mean, you could go like if you went early 70s, you go
Rock Hudson.
No, Bill Murray and Steve Martin.
Ooh.
Yeah, Bill Murray as Ferris.
Yeah,
that's really good.
That could be good.
Yeah, and Steve Martin. That's because he can play a straight guy.
How about this?
Okay.
How about
Cary Grant,
Eddie Murphy, and Arsenio Hall?
That's pretty good.
A totally different take on this, right?
So is Arsenio Ferris?
Yeah, no, Arsenio would be
Cameron.
Cameron.
Okay.
Yeah. Eddie Murphy would be Ferris.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty good.
That could be fun.
Yeah.
That'd be a lot of fun.
I like that.
Alrighty then. What else? Anything else?
No.
Anything about the movie?
I'm trying to think if there's any quotes that I didn't say.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, I'm good.
Max, you know what that means. It's time for the Buzz in the Tower fan spotlight.
Woo!
Max, who we got this week?
It's Tim Williams from 80s Flick Flashback.
80s Flick Flashback. Can we get that on the screen?
Tim Williams is just a good dude. He's been with us since the beginning. We made friends early on.
He's been with us since the beginning.
He's done 100 episodes of his own pod, too.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, and they drop every other Friday.
And we can find it on...
Go at 80s Flick Flashback. 80s spelled with 80, not the letters. We're going to be spelling everything with numbers now.
I love it. I love it. I always love when we have other podcasters on the show because they have a sultry in your plums kind of voice.
Professional.
So let's hear what Tim had to say about Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Hey, Tim Williams here from the 80s Flick Flashback podcast. So excited to be back as a fan spotlight on Buzz in the Tower. Thank you so much, Mo and Max, for allowing me to be a part of this one. And what a great one Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Save Ferris, as my shirt says.
Yeah.
One of my all-time favorite 80s movies. By far my favorite John Hughes movie. I know that's, for a lot of people that love Breakfast Club, that's like sacrilegious, but I love this movie. Talking about favorite scenes, man, it's hard. It's really hard to think about which scene is my favorite. But if I have to boil it down, it's going to have to be the parade scene with Ferris singing Twist and Shout by the Beatles. I just remember seeing that as a kid in the theater and just being so filled with joy, and just, it was just so cool, even though he was lip syncing, but it was just like, this was the guy that I wanted to be, that would just take a risk and do something extraordinary in the middle of this, huge parade that he's not even a part of, but just finds his way into it. And so, love this movie so much. Thank you guys again for letting me be a part of this episode. And Ferris Bueller is my hero. Ferris Bueller, you're my hero, as Cameron Fry has classically said, and I say that quite often. So thanks again, guys. Keep going. Great podcast. Keep up the good work. See you guys later. Bye.
Ferris Bueller, you're my hero.
So it's such a universal movie because everyone feels the same way.
Yeah.
It's warm fuzzies.
Yeah.
It's the parade scene.
No, Tim nailed it. I mean, like,
Want to be Ferris.
and there's again, we didn't even do justice to half the quotes that are in the movie because we would have made it a 2-hour podcast. So Tim, thank you again for popping in. Max, plug one more time Tim's podcast, please.
80s Flick Flashback.
Atta girl. We'll throw that up on the screen as well. Max, that concludes our episode on Ferris Bueller's Day Off. A reminder to all of our fans to follow, subscribe, and leave a review. Reviews are key. 5 stars on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Swing on over to youtube.com/@BuzzInTheTower. Follow us on there. Leave a comment or a note. I've been pretty good about responding to them. Patreon.com/BuzzInTheTower.
Yeah.
Help pay for all this beautiful
shout you
equipment. Yeah, absolutely. We'll shout you out. BuzzInTheTower.com for officially licensed merchandise, and @BuzzInTheTower is our tag on all social media. I'm Mo. He's Max. How do you want to end this wonderful episode?
You're still here? It's over. Go home.
What are you looking at? Are you trying to look at? Are you trying to look at that camera? Let's just look at that camera and say it. Stare.
Go.
Hey, it's okay, Ray Charles. Just look at the camera right there and say it.
Go home. Go home.